What's up, y'all? So this video is basically going to be the story about what happened with my mom, uh, and everything that goes along with it. So basically, to start off in 2011, my mother has an aneurysm in her brain. This also causes her to have a stroke. So she needs to now get rehabilitation in some kind of way because she's had a traumatic brain injury, basically. So she goes to a place where she's supposed to get rehab, and they were giving her some physical therapy and some other stuff and speech therapy and so on. She started getting better, and I started inquiring about home care and stuff like that. So I was in the mix of talking to uh, her insurance and agencies that had home health aides and find out whatever kind of services she could get. Uh, at this time, I was working in the catering field, so I would visit my mother depending on my schedule. If I was working early in the morning, I'd go visit her in the evening. If we had night parties and we had to cook for people later at night, I went earlier in the morning. On my days off, I spent a lot more time with her. But I was there every day, watching like a vigilant bulldog, being her advocate, as well as a lot of the other patients' advocates, because unfortunately, a lot of people take their loved ones and they just dump them in these nursing homes and rehabs, and bye bye, never see you again, grandma. You know. But anyway, so I was basically going on my way to work. She was there. She was in the day room. For some ungodly reason, the CNA basically this day wheels my mother to the opposite side of the hallway, not even where her room was at. So this is a mystery to this day. Why did this lady wheel my mother on that side? Who knows, right? Uh, she gets wheeled on that side. She's in a wheelchair that's not her usual wheelchair. So to educate y'all on this, mom was basically not really able to walk just yet. So when you're like that and you're a patient, you're a lot more, let's say, slip dangerous, where you might slip out the chair. So her normal wheelchair had like a seatbelt, leg rest, a high back, enough to prop her up properly. But they didn't put her in that wheelchair that day. They gave her a wheelchair of a person who was way more ambulatory, who could walk around and so on and so forth. So she gets wheeled to the opposite side of the hallway. CNA gets called away for whatever reason, and she just leaves mom. Like mom's just over there on the other side of the hallway by herself for mad long. Uh, Mom feels herself slipping, and there's nothing to hold her to the chair. So mom falls. She falls out of the wheelchair, gets all kinds of messed up. I then get the call at the catering place where I was working at saying, "We think your mother fell out of a wheelchair, sir." And I said, "Well, you think she fell out of a wheelchair or didn't she? She either fell out of a wheelchair or she's still in the damn wheelchair. But you think doesn't make any damn sense to me." So I said, "Is she okay?" Sir, is she okay? I go, "What hospital is she going to?" So they tell me which hospital she's going to go to. We then go to this hospital, which at some point in time, several decades ago, was considered a good hospital. But mom goes there. She's complaining about both her legs hurting pretty bad, right? She said, "Both my legs hurt. My shoulder hurts. This hurts. That hurts. My head hurts." Now, call me crazy. I ain't no doctor. But if an older person falls and they're complaining about pain all over, wouldn't it be the educated guess to do an x ray of the entire body? I mean, just call me crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Or I just deal with common sense, and common sense ain't too common like that anymore. So, whatever, right? So, these idiots, and yeah, that's what they are, idiots. They basically only x-ray one of my mother's legs, even though she's complaining about pain in both. So, they tell me they're going to do a knee surgery on her leg. And I said, "What about the other leg?" And they said, "Oh, no, the break is in the right leg." Yeah. So, they do a knee surgery on my mom's leg. Uh, 24 hours later, though, 24 hours later, after they tell me it's a complete success, sir, we did a complete success. 24 hours later, I get a call, "Sir, can you come to the hospital?" You need to come to the ICU. There's been complications. Uh, I go, what's going on? So I go to the ICU, and this is what basically happened. Mom was complaining about pain in both legs. These idiots only x-rayed one leg. So, needless to say, the leg that was broken on the opposite side that never got x-rayed, clots from inside that leg, traveled up through her system and lodged into her lungs, giving her blood clots in her lungs, otherwise known as a pulmonary embolism. Right? So that almost killed Mom. From the nursing home that she was at, where she was supposed to get rehabilitation, she ended up also with a urinary tract infection. Because they let the people sit in their own waste for hours on end. Because these places are ran by people that all they care about is this, right? Because they don't put enough staff. And half the time, the staff just don't care, right? They don't look like their grandma, don't look like their mama, right? Don't sound like their mama, whatever. So they let them sit in their own ways, whatever. So Mom, from this nursing home rehab place where she's supposed to be getting help, ends up with 2 broken legs, fractured shoulder, a UTI, a bed sore. And then now, because the great geniuses of this hospital only x-rayed one leg, and mind you, they x-rayed the right leg and the left arm. So the left leg that was broken, right under the left arm, didn't x-ray it. So she has blood clots where she could potentially die from it. So they give her, basically some medication to break down the clots, some strong stuff. It breaks down the clots. She then eventually goes to another place to basically get rehab from the first rehab and then the friggin' hospital. So after that happens, she's there, and then the doctor who operated on her leg and the physical therapist at the new place are not playing ping pong on responsibility on if Mom can get physical therapy. So they were playing and playing and playing and playing. And if you don't get therapy quick, you're going to lose whatever function or whatever. So I took her out of there. You know what I'm saying? Talked to the agencies or whatever, was able to get her home care. And needless to say, she was doing good from there. But unfortunately, right? Yeah, the unfortunate part is this same hospital, because it's not that far from where I live. Unfortunately, when you call 911, it's one of the places that they're going to take you. So after that large mistake that they've done, where my mom almost died because they missed an entire broken leg, she was brought there again one time, right? EMS just brings her there. So she goes there, and now she has pneumonia. They give her some treatment or whatever, but they don't do no follow-up scans or x-rays or nothing at this point in time. So they discharge Mom, right? But Mom's still jacked up. She's still sick. So I bring her to a different hospital this time, one right down the block. I got EMS to bring me to the one right down the block. And they find out that my mother was basically discharged from the initial janky hospital with 2 liters of liquid in her lungs. So this hospital that actually does their job takes the liquid out of her lungs, gives her, like water pills and so on to get the rest of the stuff out, puts her on some antibiotics, and now she was home breathing a whole lot better than she was, from the last discharge. Going into now. So basically January 20th, my mother is short of breath. No matter what I was doing, nothing was helping it as far as asthma treatments, increasing oxygen to her and stuff like that. So, you call 911, EMS comes. I reiterated a gazillion times. Please do not bring me to said hospital. They have messed up a gazillion times with us. And not messing up like, you had lunch and they gave you tea instead of coffee. No, they do stuff that's going to kill you or damn near kill you. So, basically, stupid EMS. Like literally, the hospital we asked them to bring us to, the one that actually got the water out of her lungs the other time, is at the end of this block. The hospital we don't want to go to is on this block, right? So literally, it's a few minutes away. What do? They bring us to the said hospital of Idiocy, right? And then part 2 of this is going to be about what happened once we got there, okay?